Hello friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods. Here we go. Wow. Russell Wilson put a gun to the head of the Seattle Seahawks and basically said, you're going to pay me by the 15th of April, tax day, or else I'm never going to sign a long-term deal with you. You can franchise tag me, whatever, but I'm not signing that long-term deal. And it seemed like it was not going to get done, but apparently it got done. A whopping 4-year, $140 million extension. Hey, Russell, let me hold a little bit of that for you. Can I hold a little bit? $140 million, $35 million a year, now the highest paid football player ever. And what this has done, of course, is reset the quarterback market. Understand, it's not about necessarily being the best player. It's about the last guy getting the contract. Because let's take a look, just listen to this real quick. June 2016, Andrew Luck, $24.6 million, highest paid in the NFL. June 17, Derek Carr, $25 million. Matthew Stafford, September 17, $27 million. February 18, Jimmy G. Garoppolo, 27.5. March 18, Kirk frickin' Cousins, $28 million. May, Matt Ryan, $30 million. August 18, Aaron Rodgers, 33.5. And now here we are in April, Russell Wilson, 35. Now, as you go down the list there, Matty Ice, you can say, well, he's, always been pretty good with the stats. More times than not, it's been average, but he's been a pretty good quarterback. And you can say Aaron Rodgers, he's got a Super Bowl ring, and, he's considered the bad man, coach killer, but the bad man. And Russell Wilson, who's been to 2 Super Bowls, winning one, who has become one of the top playmaking quarterbacks in the NFL. But as you look down through the Andrew Lucks, the Derek Carrs, the Matthew Stafford, the Jimmy Garoppolos, and the Kirk Cousins, all guys that were the highest paid at some point in the NFL, I don't believe there's a playoff win from any one of those, and you can't honestly say that any of those have been the top quarterbacks in the NFL. And the reason I bring that up is it's not about necessarily being the top one. It's about the compensation constantly going up. Because here's what's going to be amazing now. And this is why I said it would behoove the Cowboys to sign Dak sooner than later. If we go back through and we look at over the top quarterback compensation, it's grouped. It's like an era. Right now, you're grouping. No, that's not what I want. Your grouping is right here. All these guys are all about the same time. So that 25 to 33 was the grouping. Aaron Rodgers, of course, deserved to be on the top of that list. Kirk Cousins got it because he was a free agent, something, in his prime. Leaving hadn't happened. Jimmy Garoppolo, of course, being left. But what's going to be interesting is 2 years from now, these numbers, these 25s and 27s, are going to look like bargains. Because if we go down, understand that that group was the latest group. This group right in here, before the Russell Wilsons, the Ben Roethlisbergers and all that, that was the grouping before. And now the problem is you've got your Ben Roethlisberger's going to need to get recompensated. He's going to be looking for a new deal. You got Tom Brady, of course, is going to need to get another one. Phillip Rivers, Cam, all of those guys. Eli, I don't think is going to necessarily get another one. But now these guys, along with Carson Wentz, with Dak Prescott, and Jared Goff, all of those guys are now going to be in that next grouping. I don't know if anybody will get higher than Russell Wilson immediately, but I can guarantee you that the market is now 30 to 35 million as opposed to 25 to 33. You follow what I'm saying here? And the more of these guys that get signed, the more it goes up, because you can even go back even further and you can kind of look and see the whole market jumps. Now, if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, seeing what Russell Wilson has done, not on the contract I know scares everybody, because they'll say, well, you won't be able to do anything because you're paying the quarterback. And that's short-sighted right now, because understand, you could have said the same thing about the 27 or 28 million that they're paying Kirk Cousins. But $10 million got added to the salary cap this past year. Next year, another 10 million gets added to. So it's 20 million over 2 years. So that 27 million right now won't seem as big 2 years from now. You follow me on that? Because we're looking at this in today's dollars, not 2-3 years down the road's dollars. Because 3-4 years down the road, we're going to be looking back and saying that was like the Russell Wilson deal from before. But here's the thing I want you guys to think about as far as Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has some incredible numbers on here. I mean, the last 3 years of his career, because they don't have the defense and the running game that they used to, he's been forced to throw a whole lot more and has been deadly. 35 TDs last year, 34 the year before, 21 and then 34. And I know you're thinking, man, if we could get a quarterback that does all that. Here's the interesting thing. Let's look at something here. I can just get the pen to work. I guess I can't. If you look at Russell Wilson's first 3 years, here's what's funny. Oh, it's not funny. Look at the numbers. 31, 118. 33, 57, and 34, 75, which comes out to 9,950 yards his first 3 seasons. Touchdown-wise, he had 26, 26, and 20 for a total of 72. Had 26 interceptions. Not earth-shattering. His, ratings, of course, were right around 100, which was really good. He benefited from having a great running game and a lights-out defense that got the ball taken away. Here's what's kind of cool. Take our quarterback, Dak Prescott. And let's take a look at him, his first 3 years. Dak Prescott has 1,000 yards more passing. Even with the slump that we had from the middle of 2017 to the middle of 2018, had 1,000 yards more than Russell Wilson to start his career. Had only 5 touchdown passing less than Russell Wilson, and had 1 less interception. His yard average was about half a yard less than Russell Wilson's, but his completion percentage was actually 3% better. And his rating, just a couple points down. So when we think about Russell Wilson, where he is now, after being in the league for 7 years? 7 years, and how he's developed, the key number I want you to pay attention to is this 4th year. And as I go back through, and this is one of the reasons why I talk about the power of 4, it's that 4th year of a quarterback that seems to be when the lights go on, when they start having the really big numbers. It's the breakout year for them. And Russell Wilson went from his best year of 3,420 TDs, 26 was his best that he had, to 34 TDs and 4,000 yards with only 8 interceptions. And you can look through most quarterbacks, and I don't care if it's Ben Roethlisberger, I don't care if it's Aaron Rodgers, I don't care if it's Troy Aikman, that 4th year, more times than not, is the big year that they step up. And if that is the case with our quarterback, and now having a guy like Amari Cooper out there, we could be looking for a monster year. Now, back to compensation-wise, because Russell Wilson just raised the roof on that, and we look at quarterbacks, I look at this and say, you got to get paid more than Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry. Kirk Cousins has never beat Dak Prescott, has not had the playoff success that Dak Prescott, does not have the comeback victories that Dak Prescott has, and does not play for America's team. So you've got to get paid more than Kirk Cousins. Just got to, which is $28 million. I don't know that you pay more than Matt Ice, but again, the market just set. I think that that's the range that Dak should be in, that 28 to 30. You got to be higher than Derek Carr. You got to be higher than Matt Stafford. And Jimmy G hasn't even played a full season. So to me, that's where it should fall. But then again, it also depends on how they structure the contract, because when Tyron Smith got his deal, we looked at that and it was like, oh my God, this thing is above and beyond what anybody had gotten. But it was the length of it that now makes it look like, oh, it's not so bad. His cap number's high because they've restructured a couple times, getting more money to pay other players. But in all reality, it was actually a good deal for the Dallas Cowboys. And the Cowboys may end up doing something that's like a 6-7 year deal with Dak to go ahead and get him guaranteed money, which Russell Wilson got 65 guaranteed. But to spread it out where down the road, there's not so much pain. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But as always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joby Sports Report. I'll see you soon.